This man was left with him. He got a job. The Bible says he went and hired himself a pig, the field of the pig, to feed and to take care of pigs. An Hebrew boy okugenda kwegamba aberenga alunda gamukama ne mu maaso ga bantu bebayita ba Isirayiri. Bosanga ng'omusajja yali atuuse kye bayita to the bottomless, yali agudde n'agwira ddala paka wali wansi, n'agwa flat. Mukama waffe yeebazibwe. And the Bible says to feed the sheep, the pigs, according to the law and according to the Jewish culture, it was an abomination. But he had no choice. Gamba Munot, he had no choice. But there was something I wanted us to pick from that statement. The Bible says, and when he went there, verse 16, he said he was so hungry that he wanted to eat the food of the pig. Can you imagine? He was so hungry up to the extent that he had nothing to feed himself or to put into his stomach unless it was only the pig's food. That was a very bad state. And the Bible says, and they had nobody to pay him. There was no salary, there was no food, only to eat some of the leftover from the pigs. And the Bible says, in verse 17, that is where my point is. And the Bible says the young man came back to his senses. In another word, he was out of his what? Sense. Another version says he came back to himself. And he started reasoning with himself. Yes, you ever see it? And when he reasoned with himself, he came to the decision. And he said, why am I have to die in this place? Yes, you ever see it? Let me read this easy version. It says, the son realized that he had been very foolish. He sought all my father's hired workers have plenty of food, but I am here almost dead because I have nothing to eat. Can you imagine? Yes, you ever see? What do you tweet? Self what? Meeting with yourself. Gamba community self-meeting. You have to sit with yourself and have a meeting with yourself. That's how we wait it. And when you sit and have a meeting with yourself and you start to reason with yourself, it is you to bring the agenda, and it is you to chair the agenda. You are the chairperson. You are the discussion. Yes, with your soul. And say, is it the place I was supposed to be? Is this the kind of life I was supposed to be? Yes, there is a life which we were created to be or to live in. Yes, this young man sat a meeting with himself, and he reasoned, and he came out with a decision. And the decision was to go back. He said, I have to go back. Yes, the Bible says, he said, I will arise. Tell your neighbor, I will arise. He said, I will arise and go back to my father. Yes, tell your neighbor, arise and go back to your father. Because he has many things for you. The young man rose up. The Bible says, I will arise. You first discussed before you arouse. Yes, he said, I will arise. And he said, I will go to my father and tell him, I have sinned against heaven and I have sinned against you. That is where the revival starts from. You realize that this is not the place I was supposed to be. This was not the kind of life God has designed for me. This is my own mistake. This is what we call my own making. But it was not designed by God. Yes, the young man rose.